You may be wondering if it's absolutely necessary to blanch asparagus before freezing, and that's what I'm wondering. If I can skip that step, I would rather just freeze the asparagus raw. Hi everybody, I'm Judy DiLorenzo with A Life Well Planted, and today I'm going to freeze 2 pounds of asparagus fully raw and 2 pounds after blanching. The National Center for Home Food Preservation states that you need to blanch in order to preserve the color, the texture, the flavor, and the nutrients. Now, we won't be able to test whether or not the nutrients are better when blanched or not blanched, but I'm going to do this comparison. I'll wait a month and I'll share the results with you so that we can see if this step really is necessary as far as the color, the taste, and the texture are concerned. Now, the reason I want to do my own test is because I actually prefer to freeze green beans raw, and they suggest blanching green beans as well, so I thought it might be the same thing with the asparagus. I'll make sure that both the raw and the blanched asparagus spears are dry before I put them through the food saver. I'll suck out all the air in flat packages, and then I'll freeze all of them in my deep freezer on the same shelf. I'll try to make as many controls, as equal as possible. If you grow your own asparagus like we do, then you know the big secret that once you plant asparagus, it will gift you with a huge crop for 20 years. So it's really worth planting. And every spring, you get really excited because it's one of the first food crops that comes up, and you're eating asparagus, you're so happy, and then after a week or two go by, you're like, oh, this is a lot of asparagus. Let's start giving it away. Let's start doing things with it, because it's hard to eat asparagus every day for a month. And you do end up getting, if you plant enough of it, which we did, we end up getting close to 2 pounds every couple days. And in the height of the season, maybe even more. So I pickle it, and I make what I call asparagus end broth that I then use for making soup and risotto and other things. The recipe's in my cookbook, but it's basically taking the hard asparagus ends that you usually throw away and boil them for 45 minutes or so with onions, maybe a little garlic, and then afterwards you would blend them up using an immersion blender and then strain them and then save that nice thick hearty broth for other projects. Anyway, so the point I'm making is that it's worth growing asparagus because you end up with more than you could even imagine, and that's why I'm freezing some. And I want to make sure that if I start freezing pound after pound of this delicious vegetable that I'm doing it the right way. And I don't want to have to go through the process of blanching if it's not necessary, but if it is, it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, I won't show you the actual putting the asparagus in the boiling water for 3 minutes and then plunging into the ice water. That's pretty self-explanatory. I think you can handle that on your own. But I will show you what the packages look like after I put them through the food saver so we can do a comparison before we even put them in the freezer. How's that? Okay, the packages are ready for the freezer, and I thought I would share with you a couple of observations that I made. The asparagus shrunk after it was blanched and actually lost some weight, and it was a little bit easier getting the blanched asparagus into the packages because they were more pliable, but the unblanched were easy to work with as well. When I vacuum sealed the blanched asparagus, liquid did get drawn into the trough, and I did have to wipe the edge of the bag. The blanched asparagus does look a little richer in color for sure, but the raw asparagus will darken up when cooked after it's frozen. So we'll see how they look, how they taste, what the texture feels like after they have been in the freezer for a month, and I will report back.